In this video, I'm going to attempt to make these Chick Cupcakes. They're supposed to look like this, and this recipe is from the Food Network magazine. This is from April 2019, and someone gave me this magazine, and so I looked through it, and I thought those would make adorable little cupcakes for spring or for Easter. They also have recipes for cake pops and cereal treats, but I thought I would like to attempt to make the cupcakes. So first I'm going to give you the ingredients for just the cupcakes. When I get to the frosting part later on in this video, then I will give you the ingredients for the frosting. Right now we're just going to focus on the cupcake part. So for the cupcakes, you need 1 1/3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I put them both in the same bowl, the baking powder and the salt. 1 stick of unsalted butter at room temperature, 1 cup granulated sugar, 2 eggs, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and 1/2 cup of milk. So what you, and you want to, Kevin's showing you the cupcake tins. This makes 12 cupcakes. You want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. I've already put my cupcake liners in the pan and I sprayed them. I like to spray mine because it helps the cake come out easier. So the first thing they want you to do, and when you're doing this, if you're not preparing it like me, you can just mix it all in one bowl. They want you to put your flour, your baking powder and your salt in one bowl and just whisk it together. They just want you to just combine it just like that. No big deal at all. And just set that to the side. Now you take your butter, your 1 stick of butter, and you're going to put this in your mixer and blend it until it's creamy. Want to add your sugar, and you want to mix this together until it's creamy, and that's going to be about 4 minutes, it says, on medium high. You want to add your eggs one at a time, and then after your eggs are combined, you want to add in your vanilla. My bowl down, but now you're going to alternate between your flour and your milk. So I'm going to add some flour, and then I'm going to add a little milk, add more flour, and then add a little milk until it is all mixed in. And then you want to beat it until it is just combined. You don't want to overbeat it. Ready to put it in our muffin cups. I have a large cookie scoop. This is probably a 3 tablespoon cookie scoop, and that's what I'm going to use. So I'm going to fill up each cup, and then like that, and then if I need to go back and add in more, I will. But once you have all of your cups full, you're going to let these bake for 20 to 25 minutes. I'll probably go for 23 minutes. I like to go right in the middle of the time, and then we'll show you how they look when they've baked. Up letting these bake for the full 26 minutes because they looked kind of light on top when I was going to take them out at 24, so I just set my timer for an additional 2 minutes. But you can see they're the perfect size. They didn't run over or anything like that. So now I'm going to let them cool completely and then be right back. I took my cupcakes out of the pan. They're completely cool. So now we're gonna move on and make the frosting. You need 1.5 sticks, 12 tablespoons of unsalted butter at room temperature. So the entire time my cupcakes were baking and cooling and everything, this butter has been sitting out to get to room temperature, and it is. In this bowl, I went ahead and put it in my mixing bowl because that's where it needs to be. This is 3 cups of confectioner sugar. There's also a pinch of salt, and literally it's a pinch of salt. 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 2 tablespoons of milk. You need 6 of these circus peanut candies, which we did a review of these, so I just taped it shut. So we're gonna be using those circus peanuts. We're gonna be using yellow sanding sugar for the topping. So I don't have yellow. There's no point in buying colored sugar. You can, but you're kind of wasting your money. I'm gonna make my own. This has a cup of sugar. It didn't tell you how much you need, but I got a cup of sugar. And then Kevin and I bought these gels off of Amazon. They're Gel Life food coloring gel, and I'm going to be using the yellow, so I'm going to be making my own. You'll see me do that. It's really simple. Then you need 24 medium candy eyeballs. I don't know how many eyeballs are in there. They had some really big ones, but these look like they would be a good size. These look like medium to me. And then you need 12 yellow candy melts cut in half. And so these aren't that big anyway. I don't know if they'll need to be cut in half or not. We'll see. That's what they're telling you to do anyway. So what you want to do first is you want to take your confectioner sugar and your butter, and you want to mix this together until it is creamy. Add my vanilla, and you want to beat this until it's creamy, or about 3 minutes. So this is pretty creamy. So now you want to add in your milk, and you mix this for 1 minute until it turns fluffy. Switched places with Kevin. Here's my frosting. I took it off the KitchenAid. I'm just setting it here. But now you have to prepare all your goodies. So what you want to do is you need 6 circus peanuts, like I said. You want to cut it in, and these are hard. These are hard circus peanuts. You want to cut them lengthwise into thin slices, and then trim to make 12 beaks and 24 feet. Yeah, good luck with that.
They're very dried out.
Well, and
we have felt packages other places, and they all feel like that.
Yeah, they really all the circus
How many beaks
peanuts. You need you're gonna make 12 beaks, 1 for each cupcake, and then 24 feet. So you're just literally cutting
Little triangles.
little triangles.
How many does that give me?
And the beaks look like
1, 2, 3.
I'll show you on here. I don't know if Kevin will be able to do this or not, but the beaks look like a triangle, whereas the feet have little, okay, but now the feet have 2 little things cut out of them. Do you see that?
Yeah.
They do make, Brock's makes at Easter time, they make these little mallow things, and they come in different colors in the bag. They're like pink and orange and yellow and white, I think, and those might be softer. But this recipe specifically said circus peanuts. That's why I bought circus peanuts, because I thought, well, I better use what they told me to use. But you probably, those mallow things would probably be a lot easier to cut. I stopped filming so I could help Kevin, but we have little feet. They don't look like much here, but they'll look cute. So we have our beaks and we have our feet. And now we're gonna take our candy melts, and you're just gonna cut these in half. So
I need 12.
Yes, it says 12 candy melts cut, 12 yellow candy melts cut in half.
3, 6, 9,
Now we want to dye our sugar. If you
that.
want to leave that there, you can. So we need yellow.
I haven't done this in ages.
No, we did a video of this years ago, how to color your own sugar. It's really, really easy, and it's amazing how much it costs because it's just so cheap to do it. You just take your color of choice, which this is yellow, and squirt it into your sugar.
Like 2?
Yeah. And it looks like orange, but it says yellow, so it's gonna be yellow. Make sure your bag's closed. I'm gonna decorate one cupcake completely from start to finish, and then we'll do the rest. So you want to frost it, and this is a very, very thick frosting. And it's gonna be pretty flat because you're gonna dip it into that sugar. Then you want to dip it into your sugar. Now you want, I opened up my little eyeballs, and you've got your little eyeballs here. You gotta kind of, it says to apply, put a drop of frosting on the back. I think if I press it in, it'll be fine. And then you put a beak, like this. Anytime you add eyeballs to something, it makes it hilarious. And then we made our little feet. And you just put them in like this. And then we made our little, what are these called?
Wings.
Wings. That's hilarious.
Oh, it's cute.
That is so
That's
cute.
like a little fat chick.
That is so cute. He's adorable. I love him. I'm gonna call him Norman.
You're ready to eat it.
So now I'm gonna decorate all the rest of them, and I'm gonna get Kevin to help me out, and I'll show you what they look like when we're finished. So just a little tip, if you're making these, I would only use half a cup of sugar because this was a full cup of sugar, and this is how much sugar is left. You have all of this, and so you only need half a cup, but it didn't tell you in the recipe how much to use. Half a cup's fine. Secondly, I had the sugar on a plate. It's much better if you use something with an edge. That way you're not making a mess. The sugar, especially if your kids are going to be helping you, the sugar's not going to go all over the place, and this has a nice edge around it. But you can see we have 2 left. I recruited my best buddy. But I frosted them all. I did the frosting part, and then Kevin did the decorating. So I think they are absolutely adorable. Very, very cute. The frosting, look how much frosting I have left. I have that much frosting left, which you could absolutely use for something else. You can put it in the refrigerator, cover it up. You could use it for something else. But this mix only makes 12, but they seem like they're going to be dense cupcakes. So I can't wait to try one. Okay, here we are. These, like I said, they're adorable. They're so cute. I think kids are gonna love these. I love looking at them. It says you are, as far as how long it takes, it says it takes, you're active for 35 minutes, but then the total time is an hour and a half.
For baking and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's probably right, because
the longest part was cutting the little feet and beaks out. And
it wasn't bad. I helped Kevin to cut
If they had been softer, it would have made life so much easier. But everyone we've ever felt, the packages we've felt, every one of them's been hard.
Yeah, they have.
And I ended up using a knife. Tammy kept with the scissors. I ended up getting a cutting board and a knife. I found that easier. But
and I like the scissors. Yeah. So it's whatever you want to do. But let's try one. Now, I did spray my papers. So these should come out easy.
Yeah, well, yeah, relatively.
Well, some of my icing might have gotten on the paper. Okay, so it can be really cute, but is it going to be a good tasting cupcake? Is, you know,
It's going to be hard to eat.
That's what matters. I know, because it has all that sugar on it. I got to something that was like a piece of candy. It was an eyeball. That is so good. Delicious.
You know, I know this is homemade, and it's good. But you could buy just a regular white cake mix instead of making your own. Instead of going to the trouble of making your own. You can buy a regular cake mix.
You could.
And make your own cupcakes. And then buy vanilla frosting and just frost them. I'm just trying to save you time. The decorating part, don't buy icing sugar. You spend so much money on the what do they call it? Dusting sugar or whatever.
Yeah.
So expensive. If you already have, you don't have to use the gel, although the gel works better. You can use regular liquid food coloring as well. It just doesn't, you have to let it dry. So you basically have to pour it out on a plate and let it dry before you use it.
Right.
Whereas the gel, you don't. It soaks right in. So anyway, I think these are really good though. I like the flavor.
I'm with Kevin. You could absolutely buy a box mix of your frosting, of the cake mix, and just make cupcakes. You absolutely could do that. Although I really do think the difference in a box cupcake mix and these is this is dense.
This is a denser mix.
It is the ones that you get in a box are more fluffy. They're very fluffy and airy, and they're delicious. They're good.
And they're usually really domed.
Yes, these aren't like that. These are
flat.
flat and dense, and I think they work well for something like to put a face on it. I really do think that Kevin done. I really do think they work well. Hey, he likes it. That means it was successful. I think these are adorable. And that the frosting. That frosting is really, really thick. It's thicker than other frostings that I have made. And I really like this recipe because it is so thick and it is good for like dipping it into sugar. It's good for that.
It needed to be thicker.
Yeah, so this worked really well.
Yeah.
So
that was a good recipe. I'm
yeah.
not saying don't try to make them. I'm just saying you could replicate them if you didn't want to make them from scratch. You could do it something similar to that by making box mixes, because I'm sure somebody will wonder.
And 26 minutes was perfect for these.
Yeah, good texture.
Yeah, they cooked perfectly. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you try these out, you'll have to let me know, and thanks for watching.